A 60 Minutes television broadcast airs a feature on Hal Jordan, Earth's first Green Lantern. The interview reveals his background as a former test pilot and military veteran whose father died in a plane crash. Two young men, John and Marcus, nervously watch the interview on television, terrified that someone is about to catch them.
The scene shifts to an authoritative male figure questioning a young man about the Green Lantern's real name. The young man reveals the name Hal. The superior orders him outside and asks, "Are you afraid?" To which he firmly responds, "No, sir." Afterwards, the older man offers to get a burger.
John Stewart arrives late to a training session with his mentor, Hal Jordan. Hal explains he was away on a planet called Pharaon 4 to help end a civil war. John expresses frustration that after 2 months of training, he has not yet worn the lantern ring. Hal dismisses his impatience, telling John the ring must choose him. Hal then tosses the ring toward John and leaves for a taco stand 3 miles away. Panicked after an incident during a flying lesson where Hal nearly killed him, John calls his father on the phone. His father urges him to stay calm, treat it as a test, and keep his composure to secure the job. John wakes up, or recovers, to find a ghostly construct version of Hal Jordan standing over him, while John is wearing the ring. This entity explains it is a backup of Hal's consciousness combined with the ring's sentience. Realizing 10 years have passed, the hologram asks for a status update and asks John to deliver a specific message to the real Hal. There's hail in Rushville, Nebraska. Hal Jordan is eating at a local joint, enjoying his celebrity status as Green Lantern while interacting with local fans. John arrives and hands back the ring, explaining that Hal's 10-year-old consciousness backup left him the cryptic message about Rushville. Hal immediately recognizes the meaning, orders John to pay the check, and departs. John Stewart arrives at a crime scene in Rushville, Nebraska, where local authorities are handling a shooting. After being initially turned away, John meets Sheriff Kerry Kane. Hal is already on site. Sheriff Kane insists the Green Lanterns have no jurisdiction over a purely terrestrial event, while Hal asserts his strong suspicion that extraterrestrials are involved. Hal and John observe the crime scene at a football field where 4 people died. John outlines a standard logical breakdown of the shooting involving rival fans. However, Hal reveals the origin of the Rushville message. This same location in Nebraska was where the dying alien Aben Sur crash landed 10 years prior to pass the ring to Hal. Hal notices one surviving suspect in a short-sleeved shirt still lurking at the crime scene. When John points the man out to Sheriff Kane, she realizes the oversight. The suspect runs off, leading to a foot chase where John apprehends him. Hal arrives, insisting on interrogating the captive, but Sheriff Kane takes custody. Hal and John gather at a local bar. Hal uses the ring to manifest money for drinks, prompting a conversation with John about how the ring chooses its user and the burden of carrying it. Hal retells the full story of Aben Sur's crash and dying words. A local patron confronts Hal over jukebox music. Hal intentionally provokes a bar fight to get arrested so he can access the suspect in the local jail cell. While Hal fights, John chats at the counter with a local woman named Zoe Macon. John goes to the sheriff's station to bail Hal out. Sheriff Kane refuses to release Hal until he's formally arraigned due to multiple charges stemming from the bar fight. At court, defense attorney William "Billy" Macon steps in, pleads not guilty on Hal's behalf, and covers his $200,000 bail. It is revealed that Billy is Sheriff Kane's husband. Billy invites Hal and John to his family ranch for dinner. Hal and John arrive at the Macon compound, which is heavily fortified by a private militia. They meet Billy's father, Will Macon, who hosts a barbecue dinner. Will shares his belief in an impending alien colonization threat and explains he wants Hal's assistance. Hal steps outside and bonds with young Noah and Zoe Macon. During dinner, John confronts Hal about his history with the family, and Hal confesses he previously slept with Will Macon's wife. The next morning, Hal and John return to the sheriff's station before 9 a.m. to question the suspect, Waylon Sanders. Sheriff Kane insists the suspect is merely a human truck driver, showing clean x-rays. Hal counters that 14 known alien species can seamlessly impersonate human biology on medical scans. Sheriff Kane warns Hal against physically threatening or harming the prisoner before the excerpt cuts off. Sheriff Kane permits Hal and John to interrogate Waylon Sanders. During questioning, Hal presses Sanders on his origins and notices a hidden metallic device implanted in his upper jaw, confirming his alien nature.
Sanders triggers a chemical reaction in his body, dissolving into a puddle of toxic acid to prevent giving up information.